now time for oral question period, and the Leader of the Official Opposition has question 1.
Madam Speaker, we now know that the Premier's openness to a separatist referendum is all about one thing: holding on to her party leadership. It's not about demanding a better deal for Albertans. It's not about our economy and a better life for people. No, she said it herself, it's really about not splitting her political party. When it comes to Alberta separation, why is the Premier putting her political interests and her party ahead of what is best for all Albertans?
Hear, hear. The Honourable the Premier.
Mr. Speaker, nothing could be further from the truth. I can tell you what we do not want in Alberta. We do not want an attitude of separation to set into the point where they are electing bloc Quebecois members to the legislature or party Quebecois members as a permanent feature of government like they see in Quebec. This is the reason, Madam Speaker, that I am focused on negotiating with the new Prime Minister for greater sovereignty within a united Canada. That is what my mandate is, and that is what I will be focusing on. Those members opposite should not be urging on the creation of new parties that will permanently divide Albertans, and we certainly won't on this side.
Admits this is about not creating new political parties and splintering her power. She said, quote, "You can see there isn't an outlet. It creates a new party. In Quebec right now, the Parti Québécois is polling highest of the provincial parties, and we all see the Bloc won a significant number of seats," end quote. She is risking national unity for herself, her power, and her party. Mr. Speaker, why is the Premier dividing the country and our province just to avoid dividing her party?
That's right. The Honourable the Premier.
Sounds like the member opposite just said exactly what I said, is that we do not want a permanent feature of Alberta politics to be parties that send representatives to Ottawa whose sole purpose is to break up the country, or brand new political parties whose sole purpose is to take this province out of Confederation. That is not the mandate of the United Conservative Party. What we are working towards is a united Canada with respect for provincial constitutional sovereignty over our areas of jurisdiction. That is what we have been fighting for from the moment we got founded. That's been what we've been fighting for through the legislation we've been putting forward, and it's what we're going to keep on fighting for.
The Leader of the Official Opposition.
The separatists the Premier is talking about are factions of her own party.
That's right.
And the action she is failing to take is to tell this faction of her own party that they are wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
She is coddling Alberta separatists, securing the endorsements of Quebec politicians who try to block our pipelines, and failing to get good deals for Albertans. She's ripping up a century of treaty relationships with Indigenous people, all to hold on to her own divided party and political power. Will the Premier ever put Alberta first, ahead of the grievances of the separatists in her own flawed party?
That's right. Point of order noted at 1:55. The Honourable Premier.
Come on, Madam Speaker. They never put Alberta first. All they do is they talk to their masters in Ottawa. First it was Jagmeet Singh, now it's Mark Carney, and they deign to tell Albertans what they should think and what they should feel. That's not who we are on this side of the House, Madam Speaker. We listen to Albertans, we take their concerns seriously, and then we take those concerns forward and we try to get the best deal for Alberta, putting Alberta's interests first. That is what our mandate is. That is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to continue to work with the Prime Minister so that we can find some kind of common ground to bring the temperature down so that not only can we benefit, but the entire country can benefit too.
The Honourable Member for Edmonton West Henday.
Madam Speaker, yesterday the Minister claimed to be working with chiefs on Bill 54 and this government's new Alberta independence agenda. But from what treaty chiefs have shared publicly, there's no working relationship with this government. All they are doing is disrespecting treaty to cater to extremists. So to the Minister, can you clarify what exactly you're working on with First Nations leaders? Because all we've seen is the government doubling down on separatism while ignoring the clear and constitutionally protected rights raised by treaty chiefs.
The Honourable Minister of Indigenous Relations.
For the question, Madam Speaker. Probably in the last 2 days, I've probably had 6 chiefs here from across the province talking about various issues. We just met on yesterday, Chief Conroy Siwi-Pegham talking about justice and how we can help them with the police force up there. Many things going on, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we honour the treaties in Alberta. We work closely with our First Nation people. We've done so much more than the rest of Canada combined, Madam Speaker, when it comes to reconciliation efforts. Everything from we just opened up a new skating arena for Whitefish.
The honourable member for Edmonton West Henday.
Given that the minister yesterday said he would rather run away and hide than face the backlash over Bill 54 and separatist rhetoric, and given that the Premier refuses to disavow either and has doubled down on the legislation and rhetoric, will the minister stand in this House and finally denounce the government's separatist agenda, or will he continue to run his policy of running and hiding because even Custer stood his ground?
The Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, again, we see the childish, personal attacks from the members opposite. I'll tell you what, Madam Speaker, the Minister of Indigenous Relations is not running and hiding from anything. He has stood in this chamber.
The Honourable Government House Leader.
The Minister of Indigenous Relations stood in this chamber for the last 6 years and defended this government and defended this province and built relationships that are unprecedented with First Nations in Alberta, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker. And I'll tell you what, I defend him all day, every day, just like this caucus does.
The Honourable Member for Edmonton West Henday.
Given that despite all of that, this week the minister has refused to assure Indigenous peoples in Alberta that he or his government will reject separatism, and given that he appears to treat this direct attack on treaty rights as, quote, no big deal, and I'm hoping this doesn't affect our relationship, does the minister understand that attacking treaty rights isn't something First Nations will get over? Those rights are foundational to the existence of this province and country. Does the minister recognize that Alberta is treaty land and all Albertans are treaty people?
Yes. The Honourable Minister of Indigenous Relations.
I enjoy being a treaty person. It's a beneficial agreement for everyone, Madam Speaker, and we've done so much when it comes to reconciliation in this province. And I don't know how many times all I'm hearing is separationists from that side of the House. They keep bringing it up. Maybe there's a hidden agenda there. I'm not sure. But all I'm hearing on our side is we're consistently advocating for a strong and prosperous Alberta within a united Canada. Madam Speaker.